Wonderful. Thanks so much. Again, thank you all so much for being here with us. My name is Melody Gonzalez, and it is a true honor to be your president of the UC San Diego Alumni Association. It is a real joy to be able to work alongside my fellow alumni board members and our campus faculty and staff and students in support of our community. Today in our public meeting, we have a great agenda in store for you all. So with that, we'll go ahead and just welcome all of our board members back into the space, welcome our new public members that are here with us, and get started. To begin, I'd like to run through the principles of community. If we could jump to the next slide. We ask that our attendees all abide by our UC San Diego principles of community. And the goals of these principles include providing fair treatment for faculty, staff, and students, encouraging a climate of fairness, cooperation, and professionalism, fostering inclusiveness, respect, and a welcoming environment, and promoting collaborative attitudes and actions. So we hope that you all will join us in abiding by these principles and goals. Next, I'd like to run through our meeting agenda for our time today. We'll start with a campus update and share some alumni relations updates as well. I'll share a message and a few highlights with you all. We'll discuss some of the work that has been underway under our student engagement committee and mentoring efforts, and then we'll open up for public comments. To start, I'd like to introduce our Associate Vice Chancellor for Advancement Services and Alumni Relations, Christina Chase. She was recently named the Associate Vice Chancellor for Advancement Services and Alumni Relations after serving as interim AVC for Alumni Relations. She brings some great experience to our UC San Diego campus, having worked in alumni relations at UCLA, and we've had some great meetings together so far. I'm really thrilled that she is permanent in this leadership role. So with that, I'll go ahead and pass over to you, Christina.
Thank you so much, Melody. I am happy to be here with everyone today. Good morning. I'm gonna here to introduce our Vice Chancellor for Advancement, Ann Spira. I've been so pleased to work with Ann for the 2 years that I have been here at UC San Diego. She is going to share some campus updates today, and I'm so happy that she's going to be also here sharing some of her thoughts and vision for alumni with all of you here directly. And with that, I'll hand it over to Ann.
Thank you so much, Christina, and wonderful to see you too, Melody. Thanks for being with us. I want to thank you all also on the screen for joining us today. And before we begin, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the recent fires in Los Angeles. Our thoughts are with everyone affected by this devastation, including the many Tritons in those communities. But we are very proud of how our university is contributing to the work of first responders, and that's through our innovative Alert California program, which uses cutting-edge technology and research to monitor and stay ahead of climate-driven disasters. So our hearts go out to you for all of you who have been affected, and just know that as part of our extended UC San Diego family, we are thinking of you. Now, it is always inspiring to gather with such a dedicated group of alumni, as your presence here today demonstrates the strength of our Triton alumni family, a community deeply committed to making a difference at UC San Diego and in the lives of our students. At the heart of this impact is the unwavering dedication of our alumni board members. You are the stewards of Triton pride and connection, and you should all be proud because UC San Diego continues to be recognized as a world-class institution of higher learning. We scored number 3 in the US in academic ranking of world universities, and also the same in Forbes. US News and World Report also ranked UC San Diego the 6th best public university in the nation, and ranked our School of Medicine as a Tier 1 in Best 2024 Medical Schools for Research. We are among the top institutions in the country for patents, startups, and idea generation as we forge a path to becoming the most innovative, interdisciplinary university in the country. And we remain at the forefront of innovation, with more than $1.7 billion received in a single year dedicated to research, and that's up from $1.65 billion the year before. In our first year of full eligibility for Division I postseason play, our Triton men's basketball team is currently sitting at #2 in the Big West Conference behind UC Irvine. And we're all really excited to cheer them on in March as they make their first appearance at the Big West tournament. We have some of the best and the brightest students and alumni who are making tremendous impact around the world. And we will continue to celebrate your achievements, which is why I'm thrilled to invite each of you to our Illustrious Alumni Awards, our inaugural Illustrious Alumni Awards, which are taking place later this spring. So write this down. We're going to host gatherings in New York on March 27th, San Francisco on April 23rd, and Los Angeles. We've moved to October due to the recent fires, so that will be October 14th. These awards will spotlight alumni who demonstrate the far-reaching impact of our UC San Diego community and are open to all alumni and their guests. If you know prospective students, anyone that you think would be interested in UC San Diego, please invite them to attend. If you attended any of our outstanding fall regional events, you heard me talk about the Decade of Alumni here at UC San Diego. These special events allow us to celebrate the achievements of some truly remarkable Tritons, but also to forge deeper connections with alumni around the country and build upon our Triton spirit. Because you, our alumni, are the heartbeat of any great institution, and you have all been critical to fueling the extraordinary trajectory of our very young 64-year-old university. I love to say that Harvard is almost 400 years old. We're 64 years old, but we're in the same league. Thank you for your passion, your commitment, and unwavering Triton pride. Together, I know we are building something truly extraordinary. So as I screamed out in my loudest operatic voice possible last night at the UC San Diego versus Riverside game, go Tritons! And I hope to see many of you at the Illustrious Alumni Awards coming forward.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Vice Chancellor Spira, for the updates. Very much appreciate all of the wonderful news. With that, we will go ahead and transition on to some of our additional business meeting updates here. Next, I'd like to welcome back our Associate Vice Chancellor, Christina Chase. Christina?
Thank you. And again, thank you all to our alumni who are joining us today. We really appreciate your dedication to UC San Diego and to our Triton community. Today, we want to provide you an update with what's going on in alumni relations and a little peek of what's coming up. First thing we're going to go over is our alumni relations strategic plan. We have been working on a strategic plan with the team, and we've got some highlights from it here today. We've got three core, some components we want to go over, and then we've got three priorities for you. We're really focused on creating experiences and connections that deepen your relationship with UC San Diego. Fundamentally, we want you to feel like we want you to feel and experience a sense of belonging, pride, and ownership when you hear UC San Diego. You'll see here we've got lifelong engagement, volunteer leadership, and pride and ownership as being our strategic priorities. And as we look to meet the ambitious goals that we've planned out, we're really hoping that you see that in our work over the next years. Our strategic plan it's a 3-year plan, so it will run through fiscal year 27. On the next slide, you'll see our goals and objectives, where you'll see we've got campus collaborations, leadership development, active engagement, and strategic communications as being our goals and objectives. The plan goals and objectives are focused on the role of alumni as engaged leaders and owners of UC San Diego. These plans are being shared with our campus leadership and partners, and copies of this will be made available online, and an executive summary will be made available in the chat. On the next slide, you'll see more of our goals and objectives. Purposeful engagement, again, so critical to the work that we do. So please, I hope you'll all take a look at that. The team spent a lot of time making sure that they were really reflected the work that we did and we're really proud of this plan. Do we have another slide on the strat plan? Perfect. And then we'll get that in the chat. We're also going to make these strat plan materials available online as well. We've got a great slide here. You'll see at King Triton. We've got some great updates here on our new building as well, which you see. Hopefully you saw that in the waiting room. I'll start next with our staff updates. So Alumni Relations is hiring an assistant vice chancellor of Alumni Relations. That person will help lead the strategic plan effort that you see laid out. The search for this new leader is currently underway, and we hope to have someone in place as soon as we can. The staff continues to work on supporting the alumni community. We've had really great partnerships with athletics for homecoming and alumni-sponsored basketball games. I don't know if many of you were able to attend our homecoming event or any of our basketball games. For those of you that can, we've got a pregame event in Irvine that we're really excited about, and we've got a great event on February 22nd for the Hawaii game. We also are working on building awareness and support for the Triton Alumni and Welcome Center, which is the building in, I think, the top left corner there, depending on your screen. That is opening winter 2026. We're really excited about that. There are links on our website of that building going up if you aren't able to make it to campus to see the building come up. It goes up very quickly, so winter 26 will be here before we know it. We've also got regional series where we've got going to the regions, creating meaningful events where you live. We've got OC coming up on May 15th, Seattle, May 22nd, and then Boston, June 17th. So we're really excited to come out where you're at. We are here to support all of you in your alumni journey, and so please come join us on campus, but just online on our website or go to any of our social media. And I'm really glad you were able to join us all here today. With that, Melody, I will hand it over back to you.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Christina, for those updates. Really happy to hear about all the great work that's underway. And thanks to all of our board members who participate in many of these events. And for those that are in the public, again, you are more than welcome to not just attend, but also join us in inviting others in your networks to participate in these really meaningful and valuable Alumni Association events. I'd like to now run through a few thoughts and updates with you all as well. As president of the UC San Diego Alumni Board of Directors, it is a real honor to serve in this role. We can go ahead and jump to the next slide. Part of our board's mission here is to provide ongoing support to university programs. As part of that effort, we provide funding to help programs so that they can positively impact students, alumni, and the community at large. This year, we were really proud to be able to invest in support in the Student Rent-Free Clinic. The UCSD Student Rent-Free Clinic Project, in partnership with the community, helps provide respectful, empowering, and high-quality healthcare for underserved members of our San Diego community, and at the same time, inspiring the next generation of health professionals who are participating in that. OASIS programs is also something that we invested in, which is close to my heart. I was a student that went through the OASIS program and then later on had the honor of working for OASIS, and it was a real valuable experience for me, as I know it is today for so many students that may be first gen and really looking to make a difference in the world. With the holistic programs that OASIS provides, we've been able to lend some extra support to support their good work. We've also helped dedicate some funding to university athletics. It's a thrill to see the rise of our Division I athletes and so many great student athletes on campus. And really just the energy that's been created around campus, even if people are not athletes, supporting that work that is happening in a number of different sports on campus. We also supported Revive and Survive, a program that teaches CPR to the greater San Diego community, and also a special project close to our hearts, Triton Firsts, which is a program that brings together first-generation college students. Additionally, we have a number of committees that gather and meet on a regular basis. They develop a number of different projects that align with our areas of focus, which are strengthening career pathways for our students and alumni, community advocacy, and first-generation students, We convened regional club leaders on campus to discuss how we can partner and really build out a robust network of support. For those who may not be familiar, there are regional clubs all across the country and even across the world in some parts of alumni. I had the joy of actually, when I moved to Washington, D.C., getting involved with our Washington, D.C. Alumni Club. And these networks provide a lot of really wonderful events, networking opportunities, and social connection across the country. We're really proud of the work that they're doing. And so we've had a great opportunity to connect with them through the course of our meetings. We've also conducted some outreach as part of our Make a Friend, Bring a Friend effort. And earlier this morning, our Alumni Board adopted a statement on mentoring, expressing our commitment to mentoring. And we can go ahead and move on to the next slide. In our morning meeting, we agreed on this new commitment, which will require all of our board of directors to serve as mentors throughout their tenure and to encourage more Tritons to volunteer as mentors as well. I'm really proud of our board and that everybody has already been committed to mentoring. Everybody has at least one mentee, and people participate in a number of different panels and career networking opportunities as well. And we hope all of you that are from the public listening in and part of our community will also connect with our mentorship program, whether it's signing up to be a mentee, if you are a student listener with us today, or signing up to be a mentor and helping bring your career expertise to help our current students. We'll talk a little bit more about how you can get involved with this in just a moment. But first, we want to talk about King Triton Completion and Triton Giving Day. Triton Giving Day, we can go ahead and jump on to the next slide, is a date that we'd like you all to mark on your calendars. April 30th of 2025 is Triton Giving Day. You'll have an opportunity to go to a wonderful landing page and help make contributions to causes that you really care about. We encourage you to find an area of passion and donate to your UC San Diego home. I'm excited to see the launch of this year's campaign. Every year I look forward to seeing the projects that are listed there, and often I'll donate to a number of different projects in different ways. And it's important to remember, if it's your first time giving, it's not about just the money and the total amount that you give, it's about participation. And of course, if you are able to give more, we welcome that as well. And two of the special projects that we as a board are really going to be promoting include the completion of the King Triton statue, which is just outside of the Price Center, and the construction of the Triton Alumni and Welcome Center. If you haven't been on campus lately, I'd encourage you to visit our Alumni Association website, where you can click through and learn more about the wonderful center that's being built to support our alumni community as well as our students. So we hope that you'll take an interest in our April 30th Triton Giving Day, those two projects of King Triton statue and our Triton Alumni and Welcome Center, and also support any of the other special causes that are promoted there in our Triton Giving Day. What's also really special is that there are some matching programs. So by donating through this platform on that day, for some of these projects, your gifts will be matched by an outside donor, so really multiplying the effect of your donation. And last but not least, I'd like to transition to my last slide here and talk a little bit about our Alumni Association of the University of California. We have AAUC, which is a network of all of the presidents of all 10 UC campuses. As a Latina, I was especially proud to be part of a recent meeting that we had in UC Santa Barbara last week, because there are now 5 of the 10 UC campuses that have Latinos or Latinas as presidents of their alumni associations for the first time in history. We had a wonderful briefing on a number of different topics from our University of California staff, and so wanted to just share briefly. Again, we covered a lot of the work that has been done in response to the Los Angeles wildfires. Thank you to Vice Chancellor Ann Spira for sharing a lot of the work that has been underway. As hopefully many of you know, there are donation centers, donation links that are available. Within just about 24 hours, the Los Angeles area and our UCLA UC network was able to bring together about 700 volunteers to help in the immediate aftermath. We know that recovery is going to be a long process, so we hope to count on everybody here to be able to support in that. And for those that are impacted, please know that my heart and all of our Triton hearts are with you as you work through that recovery process. One interesting note is that if you or somebody you know was impacted and may have lost their diplomas as a result of those fires, there is a special process set up so that people can request replacement copies of any UC campus diploma So please make sure you spread the word on the different donation funds, volunteer opportunities, and support mechanisms like that one. We also talked about the search for the UC president. One of our board members, Jim Kaplan, is our liaison to that alumni network that is part of a broader effort to search and secure the next president of the University of California system. That process is underway and ongoing, and I'm really proud that our alumni have a voice in that process to make sure that we're helping the system really identify a strong leader for our students, staff, educators, community members, and alumni. And last but not least, I wanted to really draw your attention to the UCAN system or the website. You can see the link here if you go to universityofcalifornia.edu. Get involved and advocate. You can click on this UCAN site. And I'd encourage you to sign up for your email, and you'll see a lot of the different calls to action that are important to support our campus. We know that at the federal level and at the state level, your voices will really matter and are increasingly important. So please get connected, sign up for those email updates at minimum. As there are calls to action, please take action, sign those petitions, make the calls to your elected officials. And if you are able to lend even more support into the advocacy process, whether it's grassroots up or grass tops down, please stay in touch with our Alumni Association and let us know. We know, for example, that there is a potential for the state of California to make budget cuts that will impact our University of California system. So our voices will be really important, especially because mid-March to April is when the California State Senate and State Assembly will hold hearings on the future funding for our University of California and UCSD systems, with the decisions on budgets coming around the end of June. So this will be really important for all of us to leverage our voices, whether it's for our state funding or other calls to action that we know will really be important in the months to come. And this funding, of course, is really critical. We were really proud to hear in our AAUC meeting of just the success rates of how many students were enrolling system-wide, how many were graduating, how many efforts there are underway to also reach out to people like those who may have attended and then stopped out, to make sure they come back into our campuses and earn those degrees that they had worked so hard for. And also building out that lifelong learning support through programs like our UCSD Extension program. And we actually enroll across the system about 300,000 people through that UC Extension programs across the system. So I'd encourage you to check out our UCSD Extension program offerings and really think about how, with your work, your advocacy here on the board or in other roles that you may have, you can help support a lot of this work, making sure that we're helping with student graduation rates and career pathways, to make sure that our students are successful and supported throughout their journeys. With that, I will go ahead and take a pause. That covers a lot of the updates that I wanted to share from my end. And we'd love to transition now to updates from our committees. So for our first committee, I'd like to start off with our Student Engagement Committee. And I think we are joined by Gloria Corral and Janet Fisher. Ladies, are you available to share some updates?
Hi, thank you, Melody, for introducing us and providing that information on what's happening around the UC as well. Before I introduce today's presentation, I want to take a moment to tell all of you one of the ways that you can become a mentor at UC San Diego by simply clicking the offer mentoring option in your Triton Connect profile. And if you haven't signed up for Triton Connect, I encourage you to do that in order to be able to mentor students. This is a signal to students and alumni seeking a mentor that you are willing to help in any way that you can. Triton Connect is one path to mentoring, but there are others on campus as well. So find a program that works for you. The goal is to become a mentor. There's been statements that we would like to have mentors for every student on campus. So as far as alumni are concerned, we have more alumni than we have people on campus, but it would be great to have a huge cadre of folks involved in mentoring our students and helping them to succeed. As you can see, there's a number of people who are willing to help and mentor, and the people that are showing on the screen right now are actually members of the board, and we have 100% participation by members of the board at UCSD. Now, I would like to introduce Marcela Alvarado, Director of Online Student Experience, and Angeline Navarez, Coordinator for the Mentoring for All program, to give you more information about the organizations on campus that you can mentor through, as well as Triton Connect. Marcela, and Angelina, you got it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thumbs up if you can hear me. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, everybody. I am in commute, going across the city. But I was able to take a pause to join everyone here today. Thank you, everyone, for the opportunity to allow us to be in this space and really have a conversation about opportunities for us to engage and really advance the conversation and opportunities that go around mentorship. As I hear, that is a very robust conversation on our campus and also on this board. So thank you for taking the leadership in advancing this conversation. As mentioned, my name is Dr. Maricela Alvarado, and I serve as the Director for Online Student Services. Also currently leading the Career Center, the Central Career Center. And if, let me make sure the slides, if we can advance the slide, please. Next slide, please. Thank you. So to provide you an overview of the Online Student Experience Department, I'm quite sure if you are all familiar with that department. It's fairly new. It is in existence for about 2 years. It's under Student Retention and Success, led by ABC Marut Figueroa. And within Online Student Experience, we have a few components that live under the department, which include our Mentoring Collective Program. It is a first-year mentorship program that supports our first-year and transfer students in ensuring that they are connected to a mentor early on in their experience at UC San Diego to ensure that they're able to navigate such a large institution. We have about 2,000 students enrolled and that participate in this one-year program. So we're very excited that this has launched. We're going on the 4th year. And we have a lot of statistics, a great data. If anyone is interested in learning a little bit more about how we're able to advance our conversations with sense of belonging and self-advocacy, I'm happy to share that. We are also the office that oversees our Mentoring for All initiative, which Angie will go over that shortly. And also very exciting, this is the office that will be overseeing our Triton One Stop, which will live in our new Triton Center. It will be a desk, a little more than a desk, but really a place for students to come and ask questions regarding student resources. And so it will almost be like a first stop if a student doesn't really know where to go. You know, I'm looking for a mentor, I'm looking for tutoring, I'm looking for veterans resources. This would be the primary place to go. So that's a little overview of our Online Student Experience Department. I am very grateful to be able to have 2 wonderful colleagues that I work with, which is Angie Nevares, who really oversees the everyday operations. So Angie Garcia Nevares is really essential to the work that we're doing on campus around mentorship, and also Camilo Romero, who is a project policy analyst, who's also really assisting moving things forward. So thank you, everyone, again, for allowing us to be here, and I turn it over to Angie.
Maricela. Hi, everybody. Thank you for the time. So as Maricela mentioned, I'm the program coordinator for Mentoring for All initiative, also overseeing our Mentor Collective program for our department. But today I'll share about Mentoring for All. So the primary way that we move forward our Mentoring for All strategic plan, which basically takes a collective impact approach to foster a student-centered mentorship experience. Essentially, the goal of Mentoring for All is to provide a mentor to any student that wants a mentor. And so one of the primary ways that we move forward our initiative is through our committee. So the purpose of this committee is tied, as I mentioned, to the strategic plan. One of the specific goals within our plan is increasing the visibility of programs available to students, as well as the resources that promote mentoring opportunities. So as you all may know, there's often so many opportunities on our campus. So really Mentoring for All is a central hub for connecting students to those various mentorship programs. Our Mentoring for All committee is composed of various campus partners that oversee these programs at UCSD. And so in that way, in collaboration with those campus partners, we also work on another one of our goals, which is to be a liaison for connecting students, as I mentioned, to those mentoring programs and opportunities. Currently, we have about, to our knowledge, about a little bit over 65 active mentorship programs or programs that have a mentoring component. We always like to be very specific about that. We have programs that are very, centered on mentorship itself. And we also have programs that may have a specific goal, and they also provide a mentorship experience for students. Along with our Mentoring for All committee, we also focus on developing program evaluation tools and strategies to assess the program impact on our student retention and success. So really, it's being able to collaborate with our campus partners to understand more about what tools they have available, what strategies they use, and being able to be a central hub where they get to connect with one another and share research-based best practices and tools. Sorry, can we go back to the last point? And so for last, went a little bit ahead. There we go. Okay, and so the last point where we're focusing on our Mentoring for All committee is expanding training resources and tools for peer mentor and mentee support. So this is something that we have really been able to advance again through that collective impact collaboration with our campus partners. We currently have a peer educator training that will serve as an opportunity for peer mentors to receive training and help them in support of the positions that they'll be in within their specific programs. And so moving to the next slide, one way, so that's kind of like the component for Mentoring for All is the committee itself. So that's composed of our campus partners. But Mentoring for All also focuses on the student support itself. So also functioning as a central hub for connecting students, as I mentioned, to opportunities at UC San Diego. So if students are interested, we offer advising to help them identify a mentoring program that best fits their goals. We have this available through our website. The students can fill out a quick form and set up an appointment with us. We're available on a hybrid basis. They can meet in person or remotely. We also provide an up-to-date mentorship program inventory that lives on our website. So if you take a look at that tool, it really helps our students be able to sort through all the various programs and opportunities that exist on our campus. We do try to update this on sort of an annual basis. We know that there's always lots of changes, new programs or programs that, may be sunsetting. So as soon as we get the information on our end, we make sure to keep that inventory up to date. We also host the annual National Mentoring Month celebration. So this is really a space where students can come together. Again, being really mindful of creating a community where students and community that support the mentorship experience at UC San Diego can come together with one another outside of their particular program or experience that they participate in. We also provide students with resources to support their mentee and peer mentor experience. So best practices, maybe templates for kind of guiding conversations, as well as advice for both the mentee and peer mentor. And lastly, we facilitate peer mentor training and programming events. So these are events, again, being mindful of collaborating with the various campus programs and being able to connect students across those programs so they can best see what, large community they belong to at UCSD. And so for the next slide, we really wanted to highlight some potential collaboration opportunities for the alumni and the board of directors. So here are a couple of things that we suggest. We recommend one way you can interact with our Mentoring for All initiative is through recommending potential keynotes for our National Mentoring Month celebration. So National Mentoring Month takes place every January, and we do a campus-wide call for keynotes. And so these are keynotes that will represent or speak to our particular theme for that celebration. So if you have someone that you think can really speak to the mentorship experience and should be highlighted through being a keynote for the celebration, please keep an eye out for that for National Mentoring Month 2026. I know that sounds like a long time from now, but it's never too early to start putting the word out. Also, along with National Mentoring Month, so again, this is a month-long celebration on our campus. We host several programming events in collaboration with our campus partners and programs. So if you have a programming event where you're looking to connect with students or highlight that mentorship experience, we welcome you to reach out to us and form that collaboration so we can highlight it as part of our National Mentoring Month programming. We do have a calendar of events that's available campus-wide, and we do, at least I believe, do a great job of sharing that with our campus partners. And we have seen student engagement with those programs, and really creates an opportunity for students to learn about more opportunities, or really just learn about mentorship in general. Some other ways which we have already seen from this past January, you might have hopefully heard about this. So we do host now, have been able to implement our mentorship awards. We have several categories in which undergraduate, graduate, alumni, and staff can be nominated. We did see a great engagement from the alumni side, and we're able to award several alumni within the alumni mentorship category. So we thank you already for your engagement and encourage you to continue that. If the Alumni Board also has updates or relevant information that can be shared with our Mentoring for All committee members. So again, these are our campus partners that run the various mentorship programs on our campus. We welcome you to reach out to, probably would be me directly, and share those updates, or figuring a collaboration opportunity to share that information in one of our Mentoring for All committee quarterly meetings. And then lastly, if that wasn't enough collaboration, we also invite you to connect to share strategic communication to invite graduating peer mentors to participate in Triumphs Connect. So a lot of our mentorship programs have a lot of upcoming graduating seniors that have already had a great amount of experience and have dedicated and have a passion for mentorship. So we welcome you to share any strategic communication that we can share with our programs to really create that funneling system and lead those graduating seniors into Triumphs Connect, and encourage them to keep being involved with mentorship after graduation. So on my end, that's a little bit about Mentoring for All. I think on our last slide, we have our contact information. And if you have any questions, we'll open that up. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Angelina, Marisela. It's wonderful to hear of all of the great work that you all are leading. I'll open it up in case our board members may have any questions, but I think we saw one come through asking if you are working with programs like BUMP, Biology Undergraduate Mentor-Mentee Program. You mentioned you're working with a lot of different mentoring programs across campus. Can you give us just a little snapshot of what are some of your favorite examples of what that collaboration looks like across campus, and what types of, unique or interesting or special mentoring programs are there for students or alumni to connect with?
You were about to do that? Yeah, I'm in the actual slides. So.
Okay, yeah, so we actually do have, I think one of our campus partners that represents the BUMP program within our quarterly, like our general committee. So we have campus partners that either participate through our general committee, so that's being engaged with the information that we send through our listserv, attending those quarterly meetings. When we need, kind of like a requests to share tools or information. They have been a program that has been able to collaborate and share other tools and information with other programs, which really is beneficial, again, for that sort of support across programs, whereas otherwise they would kind of have to initiate that on their own, or a lot of times might not even be aware of what other programs exist on campus. So very similar for students is the professional staff experience of working and running these mentorship programs. We also have some other campus partners that are active within the general committee and participate as members for one of our working groups. So I think throughout the last academic year, we had a representative from BUMP within, I want to say, our mentorship connection working group. So that's the one that I talked about where we're, figuring out ways and practices to funnel students to the various mentorship programs, finding commonalities of what students are interested in, and when a student is not able to participate in a certain program, what other program might be available. So that's one way I would highlight that I know we have had this specific program active. And so just like BUMP, there's lots of other programs that, have engaged with our National Mentoring Month and hosting programming events for that month of January, or again, resource sharing with other campus programs. Yeah, I think that answered the question.
Yeah. And if I can chime in, and I think we do a pretty good job in being able to have a pretty updated inventory of programs, but we also recognize that the campus is quite large, and we may have missed one. So if you all engage in a program that perhaps you don't see listed in our inventory, please let us know. We want to make sure that we invite them. But also, this is an opportunity for us to look at where are the gaps in the opportunities, right? And so as we think about, ensuring that special populations on campus we're really focusing on particular groups that really need the support, the additional layer of support. This inventory and really having these conversations really help us take a step back and really look at where are the gaps and opportunities that exist within mentorship. And so we invite you to please let us know if there's one that you don't see and that you particularly engage in. Please let us know so we can reach out to them and invite them into this conversation.
Thanks so much, Maricela. And I think that helps speak to a point our friend Sam Knight has mentioned in the chat. We've got Tritons Connect, which, again, if you're not on it, please check out Tritons Connect. You can just go to alumni.ucsd.edu and get linked in. It's a really great platform where you can offer yourself almost in a LinkedIn sort of style to network and be in touch with students. But we know that, for some students and some mentors that may work, but in other cases, there it does need to be more of an active sort of engagement. So what does that work look like whether it's from your office or the programs on campus that you help work with, to really make sure students know about the importance of mentoring and how to plug in?
Yeah, as a point of clarification on our scope of influence, Mentoring for All functions through the Mentoring for All committee. So again, that's kind of like a two-sided. It's the support for the mentorship programs and the staff that lead those programs, and then the resources and tools available to the students. On our end, we do not oversee the matching side of Tritons Connect. We're not the department that oversees the administrative portions of Tritons Connect. We do know that there might be programs that are part of Mentoring for All that are using or may have been using Tritons Connect to facilitate their own matching between their students and alumni. But that's really up to the specific programs that have, the capacity to have a designated point of person to lead their program within the Tritons Connect platform. And so for us, we have a peer mentorship program that is open to undergraduate students. So we do facilitate that peer-to-peer matching, really holistic support for all their mentorship experiences in support of first-year students. And so through that end, one way where we can facilitate, again, a potential collaboration is having some strategic communication from your board of alumni that we can share with our graduating seniors so that we can encourage them and funnel them into Tritons Connect. But on our end, we do not oversee the matching process within the Tritons Connect platform.
No, that's really helpful. Thank you. And for our board members, are there any other questions, comments? And while we're thinking about this particular topic, I want to also draw your attention to the chat where there is the contact information and the emails for our presenters and also the handle. So you could follow the office UCSD Mentoring for All on Instagram. So you can take a look, make sure you check out their website too, as they have offered if there are mentoring programs on campus that you may not see listed yet, make sure you reach out and they can help be part of that Mentoring for All committee and work group. I'll take a quick look here around our Zoom room, and I'll also just note that because of a tech issue, we're going to send our executive summary following this meeting. And then also want to mention, we'll start to conclude our mentoring conversation here in just a moment, and then we'll transition into a little broader, just general Q&A time as well. And I see Sam also is noting the mentoring award celebration was delightful and highlighted excellent peer mentoring. How integrated is the alumni office with the mentoring? Like what's the relationship, I guess, with your office, the committee, and alumni to date? And do you have ideas or thoughts on how we could be collaborative in addition to your points on your slide, I guess?
Yeah, of course. I can speak to that directly. So I would say we're very grateful to have a direct point of contact, which has been Paula Thomas within the alumni department. So we have great engagement with alumni. She has been instrumental in being able to share a lot of, just create that communication across our departments. So I know we have seen engagement with our National Mentoring Month. So as I mentioned, being able to receive those nominations and share the information about the awards with the alumni was really grateful. We're very grateful for that this past January because we did receive several nominations. And for it being the inaugural year, I think that just speaks to the level of collaboration and communication that we have. I know that we also continue to share information, and alumni receives, the information on, I think one of the main projects that we were working on last year is developing a statement on mentorship for our campus, where we really had to integrate all the various programs and campus partners. And so part of that conversation was alumni too, and helping us shape that definition of mentorship for our campus and that statement on mentorship, and being able to have their representation there in that statement, in that definition. So whenever we have things, sort of projects or initiatives of that sort, we make sure to integrate the alumni perspective and information so that it remains visible and relevant to our students. And like I mentioned, I would go back to, if there's interest on continuing that conversation on potential collaborations. I know we provided lots of different points on how we can continue that collaboration with alumni. And so that would just be a bit of information on kind of like our partnership together.
Great, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for the updates. Know that our door is always open, and we're excited to keep collaborating and brainstorming with you all, whether it's, through alumni voice on the committee and information or connections that you all may need. Know that we all are here to help support, this work moving forward. And I just wanted to offer, as we transition out, if Jan, did you want to share any closing words as we close out for the mentoring segment of our agenda?
Yes, thank you, Melody. As far as alumni engagement with the Mentoring for All program, we, as a function of our stated goal of managing or helping to orchestrate mentoring within the alumni community, the Student Engagement Committee has dedicated our activities for this year and into next year with coordinating with the Mentoring for All group to get as many campus units that involved with Mentoring for All, so that our alumni can go in and actually look to those groups to see if there's anyone or any group that they have a preference to mentor with. I personally am involved with the Black Alumni Council and the Black Alumni Scholarship Fund, and we will be adding our names to that list so that we can encourage Black alumni to participate in mentoring Black students as well. And I'm sure that other groups of color will be doing that as well. But we consider it very, very important. And as Melody mentioned a little bit earlier before we started, we do have an initiative in place for mentoring for all students on campus that the board is actively involved in. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, the Alumni Board is 100% involved in mentoring students across the various groups. And so it's really, really important from an alumni basis to share our knowledge with them. I personally have 3 mentees. And I enjoy talking with all of them and encouraging them and sharing information with them that will help them in their career paths and on-campus information as well. So for all of you that are listening, please, please sign up with Triton Connect and also look to the Mentoring for All site to see if there's any specific groups that you want to engage with that are in your area of expertise where you can be effective in mentoring students. I endorse it 100%.
Well said, Jan. Thank you so much for your leadership and your student engagement committee's leadership in making sure that every student, every Triton gets access to a mentor throughout their career. And hopefully we can get to that goal with everybody's help here. Muchas gracias, Marisela and Helena. Very happy to have you all here with us. And now I'd love to transition to our Q&A time. We would ask that you use the Q&A tool at the bottom of your Zoom screen to ask questions. And a member of our team, I believe it is Lupita, will be helping raise those questions. I'll be joined by some staff as well in responding. So again, the Q&A button you should see at the bottom of your Zoom screen. It looks like a little square with a question mark in it. If you could click that and enter your questions through that Q&A box, that will help us greatly. So
I do have a question, Melody, already that came from Sam, kind of in the beginning of the chat here. Sam Knight asks, will any speaker cover the current budget cuts that have resulted in layoffs recently? Christina?
Yeah, I'm happy to answer that question. And I'm going to make a couple notes before I answer it. I oversee the budget for advancement. So the Advancement Budget Office, which is Vice Chancellor Inspire's area. So I can only speak from that area. I can't speak for all of campus. As someone noted, the campus is a very big place. I personally don't know of any layoffs that have happened. I don't mean to say that it hasn't happened to someone, but I don't know of any. We got budget guidance just a week ago on what to expect for next year's budget. So right now in advancement, we have gotten direction on what our budget for next year should look like. So our budget will start from July 1 and will run through June 30. So we're making plans for what the budget will look like. We have not laid anyone off. We don't anticipate that. We've done strategic thought around how we fill roles, how long we have roles open, and considerations around that for staffing. But we in advancement haven't done any layoffs. And so, Sam, I hope that answers your question. I guess generally, we, as Melody already noted, I will highlight the state did cut our budget. We will see a reduction in our budget, but it is something we're hoping to manage thoughtfully with programmatic cuts as we go into the next year.
Thank you, Christine. I appreciate your response and information there. And again, we talked about the importance of alumni voice, student voice as well, in advocacy process. A lot of times budget decisions are made from the state or federal level, and your voices on the importance of that funding can be really, really valuable to make sure we're protecting programs, staffing, student support, et cetera. And Brookie, I see your hand was raised.
Yeah.
Brookie Best?
Yes, thank you. I couldn't unmute. Now it's working. That's all right. I was just going to offer, similar to what Christina said from the state level, that, we simply have plans for next year, and all of our different units have to manage whatever budget cut will be coming from the state. From the federal level, there have been a small number of awards that have received stop work orders and have had to lay off people, and those were awards that were funded primarily through USAID. And so the campus as a whole hasn't, had a lot of things from the federal side that were affected, but I think there are a small number of people who did receive some stop work orders and did have to initiate layoffs. Yep.
Well, that's tough to hear. And I think, again, a point that we all just need to continue to be vigilant of what we need to be advocating around to make sure, the great research and work that is being done in our campus is protected in whatever way we may be able to advocate for that. So thank you for those updates. I'll transition back to Lupita. I think we have another question coming in through Q&A. And again, if you have a question, please click on the Q&A button, drop the question into the Q&A feature, and that will help us greatly. Lupita, do you want to share the next question?
Hi. Yes, it's from Jonathan. And it says, is there a primary calendar of events which would allow alumni to see everything happening with alumni both locally and in other major locations? I am going to go ahead. Yes, there is. So on our alumni webpage, we have our alumni calendar of events, which will give you, there it is in the chat. Diana just put it in there. You can go onto this link and it will give you everything that's happening, both locally in San Diego and around the US and the world actually as well. Okay. Next question. Is there a career fair this year specifically for alumni in tech and science in San Diego? Can someone answer to that?
I think if Steph can join us in helping share if there might be any alumni in tech and science events in San Diego, that would be great. In the meantime, I would also offer, having just come out of the Alumni Association of University of California President's meeting, there is also a lot of collaboration that's happening across UC systems. So I'd encourage you to also, again, connect to the Alumni Association of the University of California site. And make sure you're following UCSD's Alumni Association on social media and signing up for our email lists, because in addition to events that UCSD offers, there are also sometimes some really great events in person or virtual that you can join that may be organized by another UC or in collaboration with a few of the UCs that may be open for students and alumni across the system. And I feel like there may be some work going on there around tech careers.
I think that was the best response. I think we always have offering career opportunities. I mean, the earlier discussion was around mentoring. So often if there isn't a specific event that's happening, tapping into the resources that we have either via Triton's Connect and looking to connect with an individual who may be in an area professionally that you have an interest in is a ongoing evergreen opportunity.
Absolutely. So they're some great resources, I think. Even also, I'd encourage you again, just make sure you're checking out our website of alumni stories. Sometimes you can find some really great stories of alumni who might inspire or help, give you ideas for your career path or your journey. Again, the Triton's Connect platform too is a really great place to also see who might be some mentors in that sector that might be worth reaching out to. And at our Alumni Association of UC's meeting, there also was mention of an in-person event that's open for all UC students. That is a UC Night in Tech at LinkedIn in San Francisco. That's happening March 18th. So it's nice to be part of both the UCSD and the broader UC alumni community here. Let's go ahead. I think we have, did we have one more question?
Yeah, we have one more related to tours. This is from Esther. Are tours of campuses provided? And Diana is going to go ahead and put in a link in there we go, for everyone to see where you can sign up for a campus tour.
Perfect. Definitely recommend if you haven't been on campus in a bit, make your way there, sign up for a tour. At one of our last board meetings, we had an opportunity to do a really wonderful campus tour and connect with some of the faculty and the program leaders, the students, and really just see a lot of the tremendous work that's happening across campus, including the building of our new Alumni Welcome Center, which is moving along really nicely. And thanks, Paula. I see that Paula has also added into the chat the link for the UC Night in Tech event at LinkedIn, March 18th in San Francisco. Are there any other questions? Board members or staff, are there any other comments or questions from board or staff that you might like to share in our space and time together? All right, well, not seeing anything in the chat or in the Zoom room, I will take this moment to thank you all for joining us for today's conversation. Again, it is such an honor for us to be able to serve as members of the UC San Diego Alumni Association Board. We truly are committed to working with our staff, our students, our faculty, and our community members to strengthening the Triton community. There is so much to be proud of that is coming out of our campus. So I hope you'll all stay connected. Make sure you sign up for our Alumni Association email listserv, stay connected on the social media handles. You can find links to all of those sites for social media handles, events, calendars, and much more at alumni.ucsd.edu. And with that, I would like to invite one of our board members to offer a motion to adjourn. Do we have a member that would like to offer a motion to adjourn?
I offer a motion to adjourn. This is Jan Fisher.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jan. And a second? Board members? Do I have a second?
So Melody, everyone's muted.
He has
So
offered a-
there we go. We got one from George that to everyone is a second in the chat.
Thank you. Oh, here come my seconds. Thank you all so much. We very much appreciate you all joining us today. Thank you for those that offered the motion to adjourn in the second. And again, thank you for your commitment to our UC San Diego alumni community and especially our students who, so I think very eager these days are in need of your mentorship, your support, your investments. I hope to count on your support coming up on Triton Giving Day and in the many other events that our team has in store for you all. Muchas gracias. Thank you.